Well, the ComEd 4 trial continues, and while former Illinois House Speaker Michael Madigan isn't on trial this time, he is on trial next year, but 4 people part of what federal prosecutors allege is a scheme of nearly 10 years to curry favor from the speaker through little to do nothing jobs for his associates in exchange for favorable legislation for ComEd. This is a pretty explosive case with tons of audio evidence being provided by federal prosecutors. Good morning. I'm Greg Bishop on 92.7 WMAY, Springfield's News and Talk. We will be sharing a lot of that. Can't get to all of it. There's just not enough time. But one thing I didn't get to yesterday, and if you missed yesterday's presentation of various audio evidence that was provided by federal prosecutors, I'd suggest you go and check out the YouTube channel for Bishop on Air, where you can see all of the major highlights of the program each and every weekday morning. So be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, all that jazz. But let's get to it because, here we are in the state capitol. It's important to kind of understand how, the former longtime House Speaker conducted himself, including giving assignments to his associates. One of them's on trial right now in the ComEd 4, and that's Mike McLean, a former state lawmaker turned lobbyist turned confidant to Madigan, who has assignments that Madigan gives, that he's given from Madigan, and he goes out and he takes care of these assignments. But here is McLean calling the speaker's office in one recording from several years ago, and I think it's pretty telling as to how this plays out. Listen to this.
Hey, Paul, how are you?
Good. What's up?
Yeah, just I got up to Chicago to have lunch with somebody and had the lunch, and now I'm going through my assignments.
Oh no, he'll never leave you alone. Is my new thought.
So he talks about his assignments, but when he gets somebody else on the phone, McLean also shows that something's a bit more sensitive than just talking on the regular phone. Here he is discussing that.
Hey, Paul, how are you?
Oh, wait, let's go to this one. All right, here we are.
You want me to grab Micah for you?
Please.
All right, give me one moment. Let me grab her.
Thanks.
All right, grabbing Micah.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, Micah.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Good.
You want to ask him to call me when it's convenient for him?
Yeah, I sure will. He's out with the mayor, so I'll have him call you when it gets off.
Okay.
Okay, he can call from this phone. Is that okay, or is the other one?
Probably ought to call from the other one.
All right, I'll tell him.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
So,
thanks, Mike. Okay, see ya.
2 different phones.
Bye.
One is better to have the conversation he's wanting to have with Madigan about a certain issue. So these are, of course, wiretap recordings that federal prosecutors provided as evidence in the ongoing trial against the ComEd 4. But a lot of it's focused on McLean as of right now, at least the evidence. And yesterday they did have more testimony from individuals, including a former state lawmaker in Lou Lang. He testified last week, and several other former state lawmakers testified last week. Yesterday they had current state lawmaker Bob Rita testify, where Rita essentially said Madigan had complete control over the legislature, but that wasn't necessarily the case in some instances, including when it came to Madigan and his interaction with the Senate president at the time, and that is John Cullerton. And here's a little bit of that conversation as it played out on wiretaps, as is presented to the jury yesterday in that case. And this is evidence number 86. I'm going to pull up the PDF of the transcript so people watching can kind of get a general sense of what to hear there. But this is the transcript. It's evidence 86. Pull that up. And there we go. Okay. So, yeah, here we go with the transcript. And this is Mike McLean talking with Mike Madigan.
I mean, the problem is the guy doesn't understand it, and neither does his consultants. That Rounders people right now are probably putting together a 30-second ad quoting these candidates that the Senate Democrats join with me in saying enough of Madigan.
So yeah.
I mean, that's what we're going to see now. We're going to see a 30-second or a minute ad where they quote Senate Democrats saying Madigan should quit. He should resign. He should be stopped. And then they're going to use it against your candidates, our candidates.
Right.
So it's got enormous implications, in my view.
Yeah.
So I just it's so stupid. I can't even put my arms around it.
So again, this is just a little clip of a much longer conversation that McLean had with Madigan about a political spat between Senate President Cullerton and his caucus versus House Speaker Michael Madigan, and this was a conversation back in September of 2018. But then you get to some other tapes that were released. This one's from March 19th of 2019. This is evidence number 153. Pull this up, and this is actually Mike McLean calling Mike Thompson, and we'll hear a little bit of this call and get this loaded up. 153, chime in, and let's get that. Here we are.
You're going to the Capitol, you said?
I am. Yep. You're in town?
Yeah. I came over for a couple of meetings, so.
Your assignments.
Yeah, exactly. It's just that these assignments seem to take longer and longer time. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Do you think the issuer of said assignments may not be contemplating exactly how much time?
I don't think he cares.
Yeah, right.
And I also think that he thinks I have more time on my hands.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also he, I think sometimes he gets frustrated because I take some time to accomplish things, but all I ever tell him is, you've never seen my name in a newspaper article.
Right.
So,
Amen.
So I'd rather be sure than not sure.
Yep. No doubt about that.
Yeah. I'm not in a...
So the call goes on from there with McLean essentially saying that, quote, Mike, do you mind calling Mike and tell him that there's nothing against him or his clients, and the goal is to just you don't want my name on as many things anymore, and so on, and just a way to kind of obfuscate Madigan's role in things. And there's even a clip that has McLean essentially laying out for somebody on a call that you don't refer to Madigan as the speaker. You refer to him as your friend. I'm going to see if I can find this really quick just by clicking through.
Speaker's office.
Hey, Micah.
No, that's not it. All right, we will find this and get it for you because it's fascinating. It's just it's pretty incredible, and I think something that really lifts the veil of sorts to peer into what's going on when it comes to influence and power at the Illinois State House. Got to take a break though. It's 7:19 here with Springfield's Morning News. More. We've been reviewing just some of the pretty incredible audio that federal prosecutors have entered as evidence in the ComEd 4 trial. And while you've got four individuals that aren't Mike Madigan very much is central to all of this. Here's Madigan talking to his wife Shirley about soup.
Hi, sweetheart. How are you doing?
Very well, very well. So they have three soups.
Okay.
The soup again is cream of broccoli,
Mm-hmm.
which is spinach with egg drops.
All right. Spinach with egg drops, apparently a good soup to have. And we, of course, can open it up for your phone calls at 217-629-7970. I will get to those calls, I promise, here at some point. So hang on the line for me, and we'll get to you in just a moment. But I want to, of course, have more of what was provided to the jury yesterday in the ComEd 4 trial. Here is Madigan in Cut 74, where we'll find the transcript here and get this lined up so we can better understand who this is. This is Mike McLean talking with Stephanie Vohas and Travis Shea, and he's talking about how they obscure who, quote, my friend is.
So I generally, Stephanie, Travis already knows this, but I generally never refer to the speaker. I just say our friend.
Sure. Okay.
It's just more, it's easier because I'll never forget there was one time one of the ComEd people, we were at a coffee shop, and it was the speaker this and the speaker that and the speaker this and the speaker that, and right next to her at the table was Tiffany Madigan.
Oh.
And so suffice it to say, about 2 weeks later, she was no longer working for ComEd.
Oh.
And so so if you just say our friend, no one really knows what we're talking about. So that's the way I'm going to talk, if that's okay. So,
Our friend is a great person, so.
So our friend knows that you can't do all 19 or 22. He knows also that you're probably going to tier it with some of your clients. Some clients maybe could do 200 here and 500 there and 1,000 there, but that not all of them are going to get 500, or not all of them are going to get 1,000, and probably not all are going to get 200. Also know that probably in some instances you're uncomfortable contributing to a existing Republican incumbent House member. But I got on a call with a person Sunday, and that person said, no, Green, no, he's always against this. I'm happy to contribute against it. I said, okay. Oh, all right, I didn't know that. So I mean, everybody's different, but just know that our friend's just glad that you agreed to do it, and there are no expectations on how many or how much.
So again, Mike McLean talking with a couple of individuals in a way, encouraging them to kind of make it obscure as to who maybe they're actually advocating for. And we heard yesterday in tapes that were released last week of the idea that lobbyists don't work for their lobbying firm. They work for the speaker, and that was made clear to one younger lobbyist, former Madigan aide, in tapes we reviewed yesterday. But finally here, just one last clip I wanted to share, and this is a conversation Madigan had with Dan Montgomery, and this is cut number 29, just to make sure I've got that lined up, and you can read along the transcripts here as well. Here's how that conversation played out.
Dan?
Yes.
Mike Madigan?
Mr. Speaker, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Just to tell you that we had a meeting with the leaders and the governor today, and Cullerton's still in there pitching the Tier 3.
I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what more to do. I mean, we were explicit, the day we saw you and that morning with him in opposition to it.
Right.
But maybe, maybe we'll start talking more pointedly to his caucus, I guess.
Now, the new revenue estimate coming out of the governor for Tier 3 is like $180 million.
That's Tier 3 savings, $180 million?
Yeah. Rather than the $500 million of last year.
So again, a lot of tape, ranging from a variety of things, from dinner plans between McLean and Madigan, to Madigan talking with leaders within the teachers union and the teachers retirement, and questions about legislation and whether or not Madigan's putting pressure on somebody else as our friend, or however it's presented. But we're guaranteed to hear a lot more audio in evidence that's being presented by federal prosecutors. Take a quick call here, would have, but we can always open it up later. So appreciate everybody chiming in on W.